it's Danny from griswoldfamilyvacay. Hope everyone is having an awesome Friday. I wanted to make this video today because I wanted to share with you guys the story of a guy by the name of Welles Crowther. Now, this is a story that, as a teacher, I really enjoy getting to share with my students each and every September 11th because it is a very powerful and very inspiring story. I first learned about this story when I was watching College Game Day, like so many of us college football fans do. I was watching College Game Day one day, and a Sports Center featured came on, and it was entitled "The Man in the Red Bandana." And I'll have the link to that special feature in the description below. So make sure you go and you check that out. But anyway, I watched this story called "The Man in the Red Bandana," and it ended up being about this guy whose dad gave him a red bandana when he was a little kid. I think he was 7 years old, and he carried this red bandana with him everywhere. The guy's name was Welles Crowther. He was from the state of New York. He ended up going to college at Boston College. He played lacrosse, and after college, he ended up going to work in New York City in the South Tower of the Twin Towers. And so Welles ended up being a hero of 9/11 because he. Oh, I should also preface by saying that Welles was also a volunteer firefighter in his hometown of Nyack, New York. Um, but on September 11th, Welles was working in the Twin Towers, and he actually became a hero because he saved a lot of people. He saved around 12 people, if not more, on September 11th of 2001. And so for a long time, his parents had an idea, like they knew he worked there, and they had an idea that he had passed when the South Tower collapsed. They had a good idea that he had passed, but they weren't sure until his mom found a newspaper article. And in the article, it was interviewing some survivors of the 9/11 tragedy, and they had made mention to a man in a red bandana having saved their lives. And so when his mom read this, she had a pretty good idea that it was Welles. And so what she did was she sent a picture of Welles to the survivors that had mentioned the red bandana in the newspaper article. And in fact, the survivors did verify that it was Welles. And so it's a really inspiring and motivational story. I have had students from the past tell me that the learning about Welles really made a great difference and impact in their lives. And so I wanted to, now that we have a YouTube channel, not only do we like to share our memories, and make memories with you guys and share experiences of our travels and have fun with live streams and stuff like that and playing trivia, but I also like to share inspirational and motivational stories that you guys might want to read or to learn about on your own to maybe hopefully have a positive impact on your life in some way. And so I'm going to show you guys how I take this story that I learned about Welles and how I incorporate that into my lesson. Okay, so let me say first that when I first saw this story on College Game Day, I was thinking, how can I take this story and tie it into my class, into my lessons? How can I make it meaningful and inspirational for my students? And so I had a fellow teacher friend who was getting ready to go to New York City. And I had asked her if she found anything at the 9/11 Museum over Welles Crowther, if she could please get it for me. And what she ended up finding was this book right here called "The Man in the Red Bandana." This book was actually um, written by Wells's sister. Wells's sister is actually the author of this book. And then John Crowther is actually the illustrator, which was another relative of Welles. So this is basically the story of Welles. It's like basically his biography, but it's written kind of, it has pictures, and other things like that. So it's written kind of at a kid-friendly level, but it is, I read this each and every 9/11 to my students. I also show them the 9/11 feature from Sports Center over Welles Crowther that I first saw on College Game Day. But also a couple of years back, I had a buddy of mine who went to New York also in the Twin Towers Museum, and he actually found me this bandana. It has 9/11, never forget. It has a number 19, which was Wells's number when he played lacrosse at Boston College. It has the Boston College Eagle on it. And then it also has the volunteer firefighter with the letters WC representing Welles Crowther. So what I'll do, guys, is for my lesson, I make it a lesson over symbolism. So I start off by showing my students a red bandana, and I ask them to write what they see. And then I read the book to them, and then I show them the special feature from Sports Center, the man in the red bandana. And then when that's done, then I go back and I show them the bandana again, and I ask them to write what they see. And so then the book and the video give a lot of meaning, a lot of significance to the red bandana, and it makes it really, really easy for me to teach my students about symbolism. So, if you're interested in the book, The Man in the Red Bandana, or the bandana itself, or the special feature, I can put the link to the special feature down below. I can also put the link to the 9/11 museum down below. Also, Welles has his own charity now, his own foundation. People at Boston College have created the Welles Crowther Foundation, and they do a lot of events throughout the year. I think they even have scholarships and things like that for people that want to go to Boston College. But they have the Red Bandanna run every fall to raise money for the Welles Crowther Foundation in memory of Welles. They have his hometown of Nyack, New York, actually does a skating fundraiser every year, ice skating, and they also have what's called the Red Bandanna game, and that's every year. They make a special uniform that for Boston College that somehow intertwines the Red Bandanna pattern, and they play that football game every single year in honor of Welles. So that's something else that's really cool. So I just wanted to share with you guys the story of Welles and what I do as a teacher in my class to honor Welles, and also to teach my students about September 11th, 2001. Because like I said, it is one of the most important, the most meaningful, and to me, one of my two favorite lessons as a teacher that I get the honor and privilege to teach to my students each and every year. The other one being, of course, what happened on April 19th of 1995 here in Oklahoma City. So go check out that video that I linked down below. Buy the book if you want to read it, and hopefully the story of Welles will be as inspiring and as meaningful to you as it was to me. Please feel free to share his story out, because it's one that definitely 100% is worth sharing and worth knowing. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to me today about the story of Welles. And as always, take time to make memories. Have a great weekend, everybody.